Yo, it's your boy Wavy Fredo, and what we've been waiting for is finally here, man. I'm up early in the morning, as I did say. I definitely called off for this one. I took a sick day for this one. If you can see, I just woke up not too long ago. But the gameplay deep dive video is finally here, so I ain't finna waste no time. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe, and let's go get right into that video. So we gonna watch it together, and then we gonna talk about it. Let's get right into it.
Hey everyone, Kirk Herbstreit here, and welcome to the official EA Sports College Football 25 Gameplay Deep Dive. Today's focus is on the exciting new Campus IQ gameplay feature set, which includes the new wear and tear system, player abilities, home field advantage, unique playbooks, and a host of new mechanics that deliver the explosive, fast-paced gameplay unique to college football. Let's get into it. The new wear and tear system changes how you approach every snap. Wear and tear is a progressive player health system that prioritizes strategic substitutions and diverse play calling to keep your players healthy. With wear and tear, every hit matters, but not all hits have the same impact. And a single hit, like a blow to a quarterback's throwing arm, can change everything, just like it can in real life. Every hit scales differently and will have unique effects on a player's performance as damage and fatigue add up over the course of a game. Managing wear and tear is critical to your team's success, both in a single game and over the course of a season. In EA Sports College Football 25, we're introducing both mental and physical player abilities that help separate highly skilled players from untested freshmen. In contrast to the pros, where superstar talent is generally balanced across the league, the player abilities in college were designed to showcase the overall discrepancy in player and team skill levels. Physical abilities boost attributes like breaking tackles, or can provide protection from wear and tear. Mental abilities enhance intangible traits like leadership, pre-snap clarity at the line of scrimmage, and staying calm under pressure. Here you can see the stadium pulse meter is maxed out, but the visiting quarterback does not have the mental ability, headstrong, which provides resistance to distractions. The visiting quarterback here does have headstrong active, so he can see the field more clearly and will be less prone to mistakes for this play. A player can have up to 8 abilities, and they can scale in effectiveness, providing situational advantages throughout a game that ignite the dynamic and unpredictable moments that make college football so exciting. From Tiger Stadium to Happy Valley, we're pumping the sights and sounds of the most iconic and daunting home field environments right into your living room. And with home field advantage, the host team has the upper hand. As the visiting team, you'll face various degrees of home field advantages impacting confidence and composure levels, on-field performance, and more. Home field advantage will disorient players with lower composure levels more than it will for the level-headed players. Decisions like audibles and hot routes will become more difficult because these stadiums will be rocking, so it's more important than ever to keep your team in manageable down and distance situations. With 134 FBS teams to choose from in EA Sports College Football 25, the wide range of play styles is something you can't experience anywhere else. From wide splits in Oklahoma, to the triple option at Air Force, to Michigan's dominant ground game, the playbook variety makes for unique matchups every game. Fake out your rivals with new user reverse handoffs, explore the new option game, and other new trick plays. With more teams throwing the ball all over the field, College Football 25's revamped passing mechanic adds control and variation to every dropback. To expand player variation at quarterback, we focused on tuning situational throws and an array of new trajectories that will provide more passing control with a timed button press. Other new gameplay mechanics will give you more control before and after the snap. Adjust the length of your primary route with custom stems. Switch players directionally with the new switch stick for post-snap control. Master the new kicking meter and call a number of new hot routes at the line. For more on gameplay and playbooks, check out the Campus Huddle blog. Subscribe today to get the latest EA Sports College Football 25 news. To make it game day every day this season, pre-order the MVP Bundle, which includes both EA Sports College Football 25 and EA Sports Madden NFL 25 for Xbox Series XS and PlayStation 5. Till next time.
Okay, we back, and obviously we talked about a whole lot of things. We're going to start in order, which will be with wear and tear. Wear and tear is so much more intense than I even intended it to be. Wear and tear is so much more intense than I thought it would be. It's like so much intense. I thought that whatever happens in the first game of the season, whatever hits you had in the first game of the season, well, you will experience, more like, furthering pain the next game. If your shoulder hurt, then you'll feel that next game, and that can impact the next game. No, they went a step further. And if you experience a big hit on your throwing arm, you can feel that throughout the whole game. Now, I don't know if it's on something like, certain pains can go away, and like they said, some pains are not as intense as others. So I don't know to the extent of how they're going to do to relieve these pains. But if you experience a big hit to the legs, you will feel that the whole game, which will I'm sure it will affect your speed, your cutting ability, just your fire to get out on your route or to get out on a run or whatever like that. So that's actually huge. And I'm actually happy that they brought it to where you would experience it all game, whereas before you'll probably experience it throughout the season. And, if you experience it through the game, like in the example it showed, if you take a big hit to the shoulder, it can affect a quarterback's accuracy, which will cause him to throw more picks if he's not, throwing the correct passes, or, if it's not wide the fuck open, which is great for me because I'm going to get more picks. Also, they touched on how home field advantage will be more intense than I thought it would be too. Now, obviously, they have levels to this. Some stadiums are so much more crowd dominant than others, but they did bring these traits back too. Let's talk about the traits real quick. They should have just brought X factors back, honestly, because if you're going to give these players up to 8 traits and they can have different things, obviously they said it separates a college superstar from a freshman or whatever like that. But if you're going to have these traits, you might as well it's basically X factors without the X, like, honestly, in my opinion. But as far as the home field advantage, these stadiums will be rocking. It will affect a player's composure. And if these players don't have these traits to, take care of this composure, to be able to throw under pressure and everything like that, then they will obviously cannot see their routes because it's squiggly. The rest of the players will not hear audibles. They won't throw as accurate as they can because they're not calm. They're under pressure and they cannot handle that. They haven't been in these situations and they do not have the traits to protect them from these situations. So I actually think that's dope as well. So we will be getting like very aggressive crowds in some stadiums, obviously, and those crowds that have a whole lot going on. So that's fucking dope. We get fight songs. It's going to be a whole lot going on. So for the home team, if you have a banging ass stadium and it get like that, it's going to be tough on the opponent. And it's great for us opponents who will be playing as an opponent, because you have to overcome some adversity like as you would do in real life. And I think they've done a great job of trying to make this feel as real as possible. Now, to touch on the player traits just a little bit more, as I said, they should have just brought X factors, because they said that it would not be X factors, but they just bring the traits without the X factor. So obviously there's several of them. There's field general ones where you can see what's going on, who's blitzing. There's the downhill one where you break tackles or you whatever the hell. There's the ball hawk one, which you get picks easily, and several more. Obviously, if you have an idea of what the ones have been in Madden, I'm sure that it's the same ones, maybe just with a different name. But if you understand, if you play Madden and you've experienced the X factors with the traits, then you know exactly what is going on here. So it should be no surprise to you. That's the player traits that will be inside of the game. And obviously, like I said, each player will have 8 of them, up to 8 at least. Every player will not have 8, but each player will have up to 8. So that's interesting to see, what will be going on there. And let's move on. And we've talked about this before, but obviously it was in the video. There are so many different ways to play this game. You, depending on like whomever you're playing, and obviously you can change your playbook if you're using Michigan, but you want to play with the playbook of I don't know, Georgia or whatever like that. Obviously you can change, but the wide range of playbook plays, and I feel like it's going to be kind of rare that people have the same things going on. Obviously, as you can see, you can change between like how you want to be running your offense. If you want to chew clock, if you want to run no huddle, if however you want to do intermediate passes, and like those are the plays that's going to pop up for you. So I think that is great that you have these, like, all of these different playbooks, and it's so many plays, like it's so many teams, so it has to be so many plays. There's so many different play styles, so every team will not play the same. So I feel like that makes it a little more tougher on the opponent, because you don't know what's about to happen. You can't unless you play with that team or you know exactly what playbook I'm using. You don't have an idea of what I'm finna do. And even then, there's so many plays within these playbooks, because in college their playbooks are large, like as fuck, and they use a wide variety of their plays. So I feel like it would be unpredictable to even know what an opponent is actually bringing to the game. They've also went into real mechanic mode as far as the quarterback animations. I'm sure in other animations as well, but they showed in quarterback animations, they went and reworked real life situations. So how would this player move if they threw this type of throw in a real life situation? That is dope, because getting the pass there is dope, but the beauty of it is dope too. Presentation is everything. Like, for you to throw off your back foot, but it don't really look like you throwing off your back foot. You got to get the ball to this spot, but with this type of throw, you have to throw off your back foot. You have to kind of, backpedal a little bit to try to get away from the fucking dogs who are trying to get you, and throw the ball this way. They went in and reworked that and made sure that we are able to, have our animations correct. I'm sure they did this with other positions as well, but as always, the quarterbacks need to have their animations correct for the different type of throws that they will be throwing, because it's all type of shit that they do. Shit under composure, shit that they're under pressure. If they're throwing it far as fuck, they got to get their steps in. Like, everything that they have to do to get the throw off properly, you will see it inside of the game. Now, I think this is a beautiful thing. You can adjust the length of your primary route. So as you've seen, as like in the example, if your player is running a hitch, if it's the red route, the primary one, you can adjust that. So instead of it being a 10-yard hitch, you can turn it into a 10 to 12 to 15-yard curl. I think that's magnificent. So I'm sure if the primary route is a slant, I'm sure you could bump it up to 10 and make it a flat post, or maybe even a skinny post. We'll have to see once it comes out. I think that's actually dope, because not only can you audible, if you see that the defense is playing a certain way, you can adjust your route into that. Like, hot routes have went a whole nother way with this, like, adjustment. And I promise you that will actually help us, as offense runners. Now, they got some new switch stick thing where it expressed you can change players' directions. It's something new. I hope they go more deep into that. If you do understand that, please put it in the comments, because that's something I don't understand. That does look like something that can be OP, because it seems like if you're in defense, I guess the nearest defender to the throw, or one of the nearest defenders, maybe you can just, flip a switch and they kind of help out over there, give some support. I don't understand it. They didn't go too deep into it. So obviously I hope they do it at another time. If you do understand that, please let me know in the comment section, because I'm confused on that one. But that do look like something that could help out and could be potentially OP. And again, we also have a new kicking meter. I feel like they changed the kicking meter just in EA every couple of years anyway. Okay, so I did find something about introducing the switch stick. Have you ever found yourself making adjustments to defend your opponent's passing game, all to try to stop the same plays from being used repeatedly against your defense? Get ready to control Get control you never had. We introduced Switch Stick, a simple yet powerful tool to make defense switching more compelling. When you're lurking in pass coverage, flick the right stick. This will directionally switch you to other coverage defenders according to the direction of your flick, thus allowing you to make multiple levels of to play multiple levels of the field in an instance. We know the pain you get caught in the defensive line while okay. So basically, you'll just be able to switch players more efficiently, more accurately, which is dope too. Because sometimes, like it says, when you're on the defensive line and they just want to swap you to everybody else other than the cornerback that's next to the play. So that's actually dope. Let's move on. Obviously, we talked about playbooks and play styles. You have all of these different plays, all of these different formations. If you want to read it, pause it. I'm moving on. Tempo game. Obviously, we talked about that with the no huddle, the turbo, with the chewing the clock. Basically, control your own tempo of the game. If you want to keep this shit running gun, keep going, then obviously you change that. If not, you chewing the clock or whatever, however you want to run your game. Now, this is something that I hadn't seen. Let me check this out first. Okay, they didn't talk about this in the video, but it says in the trenches. This is about the offensive line. So basically it's saying if the offensive line can't hold up, nothing else matters. And the new pass protection mechanic has added 6 pass protection targeting schemes. So this will be tough for both sides of the ball. We have new things for offensive line and defensive line. So it's going to be a lot for them out there. We also have it's pouring out here. Basically, handling and throwing the wet football will be more difficult than it ever has been. So usually when we have a wet football game, when it's raining, it's a raining environment on the game, you deal with people slipping and falling, of course, like that. But we've never had difficulty throwing the ball. This is what I mean by this presentation is everything, because now we have a situation where the ball can be difficult to throw. We have a situation where in snow maybe the ball will be difficult. The heavy winds, like everything impacts everything. So if it's windy as shit, you probably have to throw the ball a certain way, or you have to make sure that you don't throw the ball certain ways because the wind may take it, or maybe it may slip out your hands, or the ball too difficult to catch, or whomever. Like, we don't know, but I love that they're inserting that in the game. So they have a whole lot of other things, swag out, victory formation, stuff that they didn't talk about in the what's name, time to get on the field. Like it's a lot of stuff. I will be posting this in the description, so if you want to, you can check it out. There are a few more other things that they did not talk about in the video, but nevertheless, it was a very informational video. We've been waiting for that. I feel like the game is going to be great. It's going to be powerful. It's going to be everything that we wished for. And it may be some too much for some. But I feel like that creates the skill gap between regular players and players who really want to play this damn game. So that's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. See you next time. Peace.